Hello, and welcome to the Lounge Pokemon Draft League Season 1 Battle Breakdown, a series where we briefly dissect and discuss the battles from each week, featuring and pointing out any highlights, points, upsets, or major plays during these games. This is Kyle from Team Watif, which stands for Wait, This Isn't Fantasy Football, and today we'll be watching a Week 4 matchup between Eric and William. This battle took forever because there was no timer turned on. It made for such an entertaining battle. William is on this side and Eric is on the other side. Let's see how this battle goes. We start with Ting Lu and Pincurchin. Eric likes to use Pincurchin to try to set up electric terrain for his Iron Hands. Iron Hands gets benefited from electric terrain because of its Quark Drive ability and because it's an electric type Pokemon. Ting Lu is good because it's Ting Lu. Let's see how the first turn happens. He switches into Corviknight, anticipating a ground-type attack. Instead, William uses Stealth Rock. Stealth Rock is good because it does damage every time a Pokemon switches in. This can be avoided using the Heavy Duty Boots item. It does more damage if the Pokemon is weak to rock. It does less damage if the Pokemon resists rock. Corviknight would take neutral damage because Flying type and Rock type makes Rock deal more damage. But Rock and Steel makes Rock do less damage, so that would mean neutral. William switches to Ceruledge to get a type advantage. Eric doesn't like Stealth Rock, so he makes it go away, but he also gets rid of electric terrain. He decides to switch into Slowbro, which is good if William uses a fire type move, but bad if he uses a ghost type move. Eric gets hit by a ghost type move. Ghost deals super effective damage to psychic type Pokemon. William does not want to get hit by a water type move because water is super effective against fire types. But he uses Trick Room instead. Trick Room basically reverses the speed of Pokemon and makes the slower Pokemon go first. Eric is afraid of a grass type move, so he switches in Gengar. This was probably a misplay because William probably knew that grass wouldn't deal much to most of Eric's team, but dark would be really good against anyone except Iron Hands. So Eric switches into a knockoff, essentially sacrificing his Gengar. This was also questionable because Gengar is a pretty fast Pokemon, so in Trick Room would be outsped anyway by Wo-Chien. At this point, Eric gets the electric terrain back up. So then William goes back into the ground type Ting Lu. Eric decides to set up toxic spikes, then get out and put Corviknight in. William also switches out. This is a good turn for William because Fire type is good against Steel type. Trick Room is still active, so Eric knows this and decides to U-turn. I bet he puts in a Water type. He does. This way, if William uses a Fire type attack, it will not affect Slowbro as much. He uses a Fire type attack, and it is not very effective against Slowbro. Life Orb is revealed. No more Trick Room. Now, William is afraid of both of Slowbro's types because Water is good against Fire and Psychic is good against Poison. So, he switches in Gallade, which is a very good offensive physical Pokemon. Eric covers both options here. Chilling Water would have dealt a lot of damage to Salazzle, but also lowers Gallade's attack. Swords Dance gets rid of that negative attack and makes it +1. Future Sight is dangerous because it doesn't come into effect right away. It takes a few turns to activate, but when it does, watch out, it can hit pretty hard. Now here's a slight misplay from William. During the match, he had to look up when Future Sight would hit. He figured out it would take place next turn. Knowing this, he Swords Danced anyway, instead of making use of his 1.5 attack already. Eric uses this opportunity to set up Trick Room because his Slowbro is not at too much risk of dying, as it is high health and it can use its Regenerator ability to regain some health. William throws his attack boost in the garbage to instead put in a Dark type. Takes the Chilling Water, Future Sight will go off, and it's not going to affect the Dark type. Good play from William. Sorry to interrupt this exhilarating battle, but it's time to talk about today's sponsor, Ray! Oh brother, not Ting Lu. Wait, don't do that! Well, looks like Ting Lu couldn't resist using Fissure and it destroyed today's sponsor. Sorry about that. Well, I guess it's back to the battle. Knockoff is going to deal good damage and take away the leftovers. That's going to be good, so that way Slowbro can't really heal too much. Electric Train is back up again, and Leech Seed is going to go on to Pincurchin. Now, a little scouting turn and some healing, or getting from Leech Seed here. Protect is going to prevent Thunder Wave from hitting, and it's going to deal some Leech Seed as well. Future Sight will go through Protect, but since it's a Dark type, it won't affect him anyway. Now, we do see why Eric used Pincurchin. It was for the Terrain Extender on Electric Terrain. But no more Terrain Extender, because Knockoff gets rid of that. The Extended Electric Terrain will still be effect for this one. Now the Thunder Wave will hit, and this Wo-Chien will be even slower than before. Now here comes Eric's main Pokemon, the Iron Hands with the Quark Drive boost for 5 turns yet. And unfortunately for William, Wo-Chien gets paralyzed. Not what you want to see if you're William here. Focus Punch, but it's going to break the focus and knock off the leftovers. Really aggressive play here from Eric. If Wo-Chien would have been paralyzed, it would have paid off. But, as you can see, Drain Punch dealt quite a bit already. And there's a Paralyze. So, this Wo-Chien is not going to be able to do too much. William decides to keep it, and switches in Gallade to a Drain Punch. Look how much that did. Cork Drive, boosted, Drain Punch, resisted, still did 45% to this Gallade. Just goes to show how strong Iron Hands is. And another switch. And Eric, once again, deals resisted damage, but still 31% to Ceruledge. Only one turn left on Electric Terrain. Weak Armor. Oh, no turns left. Weak Armor is going to kick in. An Earthquake going to take him out. Now, William did not know that he was running Earthquake. That's why he was willing to stay in. Maybe he thought he had an Electric type move, but with the weakened defense, it's basically a base 200 attack, and Ceruledge, not the tankiest Pokemon. That's going to take it out. Even up to 5 apiece. Now here comes the Ting-Lu. The ground type is going to beat Electric, but fighting type going to beat Dark. Interesting little rock, paper, scissors here between these two Pokemon. Eric not going to do his signature Flying Terrestrialize quite yet. He's going to switch out into another Electric type. But, interesting play to Whirlwind here, and actually forces out the Corviknight. Eric does not want the Corviknight to stay in. Oh, it should be known that you guys can't see this, but the timer was turned on 24 turns in. U-turning back into the Iron Hands, and Stealth Rock is back up. The Defogger was just in, but now it's out. And here we go. The signature Flying Terrestrialize. William has not revealed any attacking moves on Ting-Lu yet. But here is the turn where it happens. The first turn where he Earthquakes is when Eric gets the immunity to it. Good read by Eric. And Drain Punch gonna deal half damage to William's tankiest Pokemon left. And Focus Punch going first. You might be thinking, what the heck just happened? Focus Punch, that's literally not how the move works. Focus Punch, you focus, then you wait, and hopefully you don't get hit, and then you do a big hit. You don't just focus and hit right away. Now, I'm gonna hover over this and see if you can figure out why this happened. What do you think he used? I bet he used Whirlwind, which is even lower priority than Focus Punch, which made it look like Focus Punch went right away. So even though Eric used Focus Punch, it still goes first compared to Whirlwind. So Focus Punch is gonna take out the Ting-Lu. Now here's when William starts to, I don't want to say misplay, but he uses Agility with Farigiraf here. I'm pretty sure he'd be able to outspeed pretty much anything anyway. I mean, speed tie if Magnezone and Farigiraf were maxed, but we've seen Eric use, it's a Trick Room team, so he's probably gonna have slow Pokemon anyway. A better move to use here would probably be Nasty Plot, which I know Girafarig gets, so I don't see why Farigiraf wouldn't be able to learn it. Drain Punch, it is going to be able to resist it because of Fairy. But you're faster now. Is that going to accomplish much? Thunderbolt, good switch from Eric here, but you'd like to have that Nasty Plot instead. Psychic, maybe it didn't have too much to hit. Thunderbolt, Psychic, maybe a normal type move like Hyper Voice. This Magnezone pretty much walls out this Farigiraf, and Fairy type not going to withstand that Thunderbolt. And Eric has cut down half of William's team. Salazzle, a Flamethrower, will do a lot, and it does kill. So good stuff from William to immediately clap back. Here's William's toughest matchup again here. Both types are super effective against both types here. And he opts just to use Toxic. And luckily for William, his Salazzle will be able to survive because Eric uses his turn to Trick Room. He swaps that out of there, back into the Wo-Chien, and it's going to beautifully tank the Chilling Water just to stall some more Toxic and another Trick Room turn. Switching into the Pink Urchin. Can never say that name right. Getting the Electric Surge back up. No Terrain Extender this time, because it's already been knocked off. This Wo-Chien cannot do too much though. Now here's where they both set up. Spikes, Leech Seed. William wants to get his Wo-Chien back up to more health. Spikes again, and William, I don't know if it was a misclick, I don't know if he was reading a switch, but he opts to Leech Seed again. So 2 layers of spikes, Stealth Rock and Leech Seed on the other side. And only one more turn left of the Trick Room, probably only one more turn left. Or no turns left. Last turn here for the Pink Urchin, because it's going to get Giga Drain. And this Wo-Chien was very low health just a few turns ago. From the Giga Drain, Leftovers, and Leech Seed, now it's back to almost full health. But here comes Eric's Iron Hands. It is flying type, so it won't get any electric moves boosted, but it doesn't have any. It only has Focus Punch, Drain Punch, Play Rough, and Earthquake. Focus Punch will probably destroy this Wo-Chien, as well as Drain Punch. Eric also gets some HP, and this Wo-Chien, even though it healed back up, it's gonna be done. So Salazzle back in. We've seen Earthquake revealed already, and both of these players have used Terastallization, so we won't be able to see a Terra flying to get around the Earthquake. Sludge Bomb gonna deal a heck of a lot of damage. I personally would have Flamethrowered here. I think they're both the same base power. Flamethrower just has that burn chance. I know Sludge Bomb has the poison chance, but a burned Iron Hands is a lot worse than a poisoned Iron Hands, because a burn will cut the attack. Just the little things didn't end up mattering, because he didn't get the poison anyway. Earthquake probably would have killed like 20 Salazzles with Iron Hands attack. Now we're down to a very weak Gallade, only 20% health left, and we've only seen Swords Dance so far. Now, there is still a possibility here, because Eric's Pokemon are all slow, built for Trick Room, with the exception of Gengar, which he switched into a knockoff. Gallade has a very high attack. Psycho Cut, not gonna do it, but Play Rough misses. Gets the 10% chance, and that's gonna help out William here. He's gonna get another chance. Psycho Cut, the second one, will do it. No Life Orb item, so we really don't know what item that the Gallade is running. Now, when we do these battles, we do a lot of them live with everyone else in voice chat. No coaching, obviously, but we'll just shout stuff at people. We were all shouting at Eric to Future Sight, and like, Future Sight, you won't. And Eric has said he plays to entertain more than he plays to win. So Swords Dance and Eric Future Sights as he's Toxic. 2 times attack, sharpness, most likely, Gallade, versus a Slowbro and a Corviknight. Gallade will outspeed both of these Pokemon. Night Slash, gonna do it. Super effective, boosted by sharpness, 2 times attack. There is one more turn left before Future Sight takes out this Gallade. Now 88% health on this Corviknight. Now I did a calculation, and if Gallade is max attack, and with the Swords Dance, with sharpness, didn't account for the item because I don't know what it was, and if Corviknight is max HP, and mostly max defense, and max defense nature, a Sacred Sword, which is going to be the move that William's going to use, it has an 82 to 96 range. Eric is at 88%. 82 to 96 is very close. It could go either way. It's basically a coin flip. 88 is right in the middle of 82 and 96. Let's see what happens. Sacred Sword, and it does 75. So, obviously, something in the calculation was not accurate to the game. Either Eric had a little bit more defense, or William didn't go quite max attack, maybe not max attack nature. And how will Eric take out this Gallade? He doesn't, he roosts. But Future Sight has got Eric's back and takes out Gallade, and that is gonna do it. This game took 43 turns and it took 29 minutes. That's kind of why I did that little slow bit in the beginning, but eventually sped up. Yeah, very close battle. A few misplays here or there, and Eric almost ended up throwing the game at the end. A crit would have won it for William if he got the crit on the Corviknight at the end. Or maybe if William had a little bit more attack. But very entertaining, given that it took a long time to get done, but the ending was pretty entertaining. So that's going to do it for today. I guess one more really big misplay was Eric switching in his Gengar into the Wo-Chien and just eating the knockoff and dying before it could even see the light of day. But he was able to pivot back and take the battle. It would have been less close if Eric didn't Future Sight at the end, but he plays for the people. Hopefully this video is watchable. Hopefully put on 2x speed in the beginning, and we will see you next time for more Week 4 battles. We got some good ones coming up.